Yeah,
When you
because
wave,
his
he's-
wave, the amount of time it takes for me to wave and for him to jump is the same amount of time as it takes for you to start and then do the
Okay,
step.
so
So if I wave like right when you start, then
let's just ask some questions. So how'd you get into tricks?
I got into tricks by so I remember I just thought it was super cool to be able to do front flip and back flip, and I remember summer 2017 I tried to do front flip, couldn't do it, I was too scared. I just went out into the grass. I was a bit of a P word, and then how many years, 2 years later in February of 2019 I actually committed to the front flip because I was thinking one day, you know what, I really can do the front flip, I just gotta commit to it, and I did, and I landed it. So yeah, and then after that, June or July, yeah, it was June 2019, I got a mattress and I learned the back flip. And then after that, I didn't really think there were other flips. I thought you could just go front ways and back. So then I found a bunch of Plan Zero's videos, like, oh my gosh, there is an entire world of tricks and flips that I had no clue about. And then that day I learned the B-twist, and then everything just kicked off from there. I started doing tricking.
All right, that's interesting. So I'm gonna ask you another question. What would you say is
can I
your
answer that same question real quick? I think I have it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, y'all remember that show Kicking It?
No.
You didn't. Y'all didn't have a child? Alright, so Kicking It. I remember Jack, the main character, they did a kip up and some front flips and Websters, and I was like, yo, that's really cool, let me try it. Landed straight on my butt, and I didn't try kip up.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I gotta start somewhere. I didn't try it for a while. And then I remember when I got to middle school, we had these things called pack parties, and there would always be kids flipping and stuff. And I always thought that was so cool. And so I tried to learn how to backflip a couple of times, but it didn't. I wasn't really committed, so I just went outside, so I didn't get anywhere, so I just go inside. And then around that same time, he learned how to front flip. Cruz learned how to front flip, and I was like, you know what? I gotta learn how to do this too. And so then it took me like 2 or 3 months to learn. Then I landed it. And then I didn't really learn any flips until I learned how to side flip in November 2019. And then really didn't do much until September 2020, which is a pretty big time gap, when I learned how to backflip, and that's really where it kind of took off. And in that same kind of frame of a couple of months, I learned how to B-twist, and then that was when he started getting into tricking. That's kind of when I was like, this is pretty cool. Let me try this.
Yeah.
And that was around fall when I started to learn the touchdown raise, and now I'm here.
All right, we just encouraged each other pretty much.
Yeah.
It was first started off as just challenging each other, and then we just sort of really started pushing to see how far we can take the sport. So, yeah.
So it went from trying to see who's better to trying to help out each other.
Help out each other and just
Make
pushing
sure.
each other to be better.
There you go.
I mean, that's all
Right.
Like a team mentality.
Exactly.
That's what the sport's really all around.
Exactly.
Sportsman, yeah.
All right, so what's your next question?
All right, so I'm gonna ask both of you a question. If you were to say your most favorite flip, the one that you really feel you really makes you hyped up, and you can it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but something that you can attempt at, and you think is something really good. So I'm gonna start with Cruz.
I'll answer first. I think double cork. Oh my goodness, do I love me some double cork. So let me give you the rundown on this. So it took me 5 months to actually land the flip itself. The first time I landed the flip was February 23rd. I actually have a little piece of paper in my room that says double cork. February 23rd.
You got to record those moments.
Right. And then I tried learning it in October of 2020, and I got so mad because I couldn't do it. I could do a really nice cork, but I just could not see how people do double cork. But I pushed myself. I just kept training. Every time I didn't land it, I tell myself it's all a part of the process. You will get it. And then eventually I just got it on February 23rd of 2020. So it was nice, and I still get super hype. Exactly, first double cork in Mississippi, baby. And I still get super hype every time I land one, just because every time I land one, I think of how long it took me to actually land it and all the hard work that went into landing it. So yeah.
Well, I think for me, I don't really have a specific favorite one, but I have some really good honorable mentions. So I think the backflip, B twist, and touchdown raise. Backflip because like it's easy and it's kind of, if you get it right, it's really steezy. And B twist because not a lot of people can B twist, but a lot of people can backflip. So it's kind of different. And whenever I do it, people are like, oh, what's that? And I don't want to say it's easy because mine are mad inconsistent. And touchdown raise because like he's the only other person I know physically that can touchdown raise. And I don't want to say it's easy because like I've been trying it for almost over 6 months now and I still haven't gotten a decent swing through. But those are my top 3. But I haven't picked a favorite one. I'd say touchdown raise because all of it's so complicated, but it looks good when it's done right.
I think it's crazy too because tricking is just such a rare sport. The closest thing you'll get to it in gymnastics is gymnastics, and gymnastics is absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think it's just super rare to have 2 people that live in the same town that both have learned the trick called touchdown raise, because touchdown raise is such a weird move. I remember it made me so mad because I can't understand it. You just have to watch YouTube videos and trust people because it's just this off-axis flip, but you start off on axis and land on axis, but go off axis during the flip. It's so complicated.
Weird.
You just have to persist, man. So I think it's super super cool that we can both do it and we live in the same town. So and we're friends. So yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you guys another question. What advice would you give for people who want to trick? Like like a young person that thinks, man, tricking is so cool, but I have no idea where to start. I don't know what I should do. What advice do you decide? What do you, I guess, pros would like to give to young stars?
I want to call myself a pro just yet.
You want to?
I enjoy.
Well, you're getting there, so eventually.
I enjoy it, but I think I'd say love the process and don't get discouraged. Because like there are a lot of times when I'd be like, I'm gonna have a good session, and then like the first like couple of tricks, I see it's not going anywhere, and I just get discouraged and go inside, and then I get nowhere. But like on the sessions where I'm like, all right, those ones, I'm just warming up, it's all right, and even if I don't progress in that day, if I had fun, then I'm satisfied.
Right.
But like, and on the good sessions, whenever I like get more technique and stuff, it's just love the process. That's what I had to say.
Yeah. I was gonna say about the same thing. Love the process because a lot of times you think to yourself, all right, I have to land this trick and then I'll be happy with my tricking. But as soon as it takes you so long to land that trick, you're so happy, but then you want to do some more advanced tricks. So it's really about the process. There's no end goal because there's always gonna be another level where you can go to. So yeah, just love the process. Don't get discouraged because you can't start. Everyone starts out discouraged,
Somewhere.
but you just don't give up, man. That's all. It's really cliche, but you just don't give up because it doesn't work one time. I would not have landed double cork if I just gave up. There's so many times I just want to give up and just go inside, but no, I just kept training, went through the trials and tribulations, and finally landed it. I knew it. Every time I would get super discouraged, I told myself, all right, don't give up because eventually you will land it. It is absolutely impossible for someone to fail if they don't give up.
It's all about the patience.
Exactly. You just got to be patient and persist, man.
Yeah. So you've been when did you said you start tricking, and you said 2017 is one that you thought about it, and then you are also around that time.
Yeah.
Well, I really thought about it for a while. Well, I didn't really like call it tricking. I just like learn flips for fun, and I just do them. Not really like going anywhere, but like I learned how to front flip spring 2019, and then I didn't really do much until around fall of 2020. It's where it started like pick up, and I started learning like more moves and stuff, and I started to like have in and out sessions.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. So I got something I would like to ask you guys. So and it's just not just a big category called flips and tricking.
Right.
It's gonna be broken down into like gainers, and then like something you do before it, and then the actual flip, and then there's like all these type of things. Just like for example, a backflip and a touchdown raise is not gonna be like the same category.
Right.
They're gonna be like separate. So what would you, I guess, define or sketch the categories of, or lay the frameworks for what you think?
Okay. So
I think there'd be like setups,
yeah.
finishers, and power moves, I think.
So you have setups, swing throughs, like backward swing throughs, front swings, and just standalone tricks. So a standalone trick would be, for example, a simple flip, a simple flip, a back flip, or just a cork. But a cork can also double up as a setup if you were to do cork swing through cork or cork swing through gainer. But if you did something like aerial, that's a standalone trick. If you did aerial semi, then that's a setup trick to a front swing. So it's a setup, but also like a front swing. So it's pretty cool. It's simple, but
Could you like put in like a table or something?
yeah, you can sort of do branch out. I remember Mastering Tricking. He made like a poster of flips that you learn. So first backflip, and then it did like a little family root thing to a gainer, or then flash kick, and then it just sort of branches out to everything. It's pretty cool. And then it just at the very top, it's like super advanced things.
Yeah, something like setups would be like scoot, TDR, raise. Well, yeah, raise.
Right.
You know, stuff like that.
All right. So I got one more question. I guess we'll wrap it up after this. You said?
Are you sure about that?
So, what is your dream goal? So in the next, I guess one way to say is that in the next 20 years, what do you see yourself in terms of tricking?
I still want to be tricking. It is a young man's game, but I do think that it is possible if you condition right, eat healthy, man. There's nothing stopping you if you just don't give up. Like I was saying before, cliche, but just don't give up. So Matteo Di Cara, sorry I butchered the name, but he's 38 right now, and he's still tricking. He can still triple cork, and he started when he was 25. A lot of people, they just, oh man, if someone was 25, right, and started tricking, most people would just be like, oh yeah, I'm way too old to start tricking now. I'm not going to be good at all at that. So yeah, he started tricking when he was 25. He's 38 now and can triple cork easy.
Yeah,
But-
I guess I probably should have said in the next 10 years, because that's a bit more specific. I mean, obviously we've seen that in the next 20 years you can do amazing things. But
Right.
Yeah, so what do you say in the next 10 to 20 years?
Yeah, what he said. I want to be able to like, still like, be able to have the same energy that I had. Like, I don't want to like be on a constant state of decline, but I know that I can't help it though. But I still want to like,
Yeah,
have
keep
fun in
up.
the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
keep up, have fun in the sport.
is there any like particular like I'd say benchmarks or like checkpoints that you want to reach? Like some
Oh,
really
so like
cool flip?
goals and tricking.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
you said there's not really an end goal, but
Right, there's
as
not an
you're-
end goal, but
as
like
you're-
yeah, like a
you
like
gotta-
goal. You have to have goals to have more goals.
Like you want to say, oh, I want to do like a triple flip by
Right,
like
I see,
3
I
years
see.
or something like
I
that.
see what
Well, I got a quick quote.
Yeah.
About tricking. So, I forgot it.
No.
It's about
very
tricking.
amazing quote.
You
Wow.
want to say what I think?
Kelvin
After
Gyro.
you become the best at a sport, you challenge the sport itself.
Did someone
There we
already
go.
say that?
Did someone?
Probably
It's a-
someone probably did say that.
I
Someone
swear I
probably
heard
did
that
say
before, but it's not that you shouldn't repeat it. I mean that's good.
Yeah.
Just 'cause
At least we're
someone said it doesn't mean
acknowledging.
you can't repeat
We're
it.
acknowledging
we're
it's not
acknowledging.
ours. So.
Yeah.
No copyright.
We put the dash and then we're gonna put the name.
Yeah, we're
right
gonna
there.
search it up
There's a
and
dope
just-
edit
Yeah.
we just did.
Or we'll
right
just
now.
put unknown.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Okay, so
Some cool deal.
quad cork. 10 years. I want quad cork. I want quad cork so bad, and I also want crash moon front swing, and I think let me think. Aerial semi, raised triple cork. Aerial semi front swing, raised triple cork. That would be pretty sick. I don't know if I'm definitely gonna after I land those. I'm definitely gonna want some more things after that. But for now, I would be good for tricking. Right
Yeah,
now, I knew I succeeded in tricking as soon as I learned those, but I know I'm gonna want some more after that, which is not bad.
I think my goal for the end of this year is scoot, pop, dub, full, which is a pretty vast goal considering I can barely scoot full, and the halfway point for this year is next month. But never give up.
Right. Anything you guys want to add? Anything at all?
Post in the
Oh,
comments.
who's your favorite tricker?
My favorite
Okay.
tricker.
Yeah.
My favorite tricker is probably my boy Sam Kojo, man. He's obviously, he's not he doesn't do the best tricks in the world. Well, it depends on what you do it by. Like most advanced tricks, he doesn't do the most advanced tricks in the world, but his aesthetic is just something I really like. How he does his touchdown raises with both arms going at the same time, and his raises, he goes down, and then out of nowhere, there's just so much power going into his raises, and then his shurikens, bro, his hurricane kicks, bro. What's that one French word? Not voila, but magnificent. I don't know. I don't know.
I think for me,
Well,
my favorite one is either Johannes Anatilia.
Antilia, yeah.
Antilia, I probably butchered his name.
I did too.
Or what's his name? Either Michael Guthrie or what's his name? Kyle Skelly.
Oh, Tiki Wu. He's one of my favorites as well. Tiki
Or
Wu.
Alexander Anderson.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just
Oh,
love their
how did I forget
styles.
Alexander? Man, he's so nice.
Their styles are just so like, especially Johannes. His styles is just refined and clean.
Yeah. Who do you think the nicest tricker is?
Johannes.
You think the nice? Like, I mean, you're talking about like a personality wise.
Oh. I don't know.
I'd say
probably
Brandon
Sam.
Morrison for sure. He's just so nice, man. I've never seen him in person, obviously, but the way he's portrayed in other videos and what other people say about him, he's just like the nicest guy in the world. So, and I really like that. Same with Alexander Anderson. He seems like the super chill guy and not arrogant at all. I hate arrogant people, man. I hate it so much, but you just gotta deal with them. They do all this, but you just gotta shut them up by keeping your head down. Tunnel vision, man. Just keep grinding. The sun's going down, so I think we're gonna wrap it up right there.
I have one more question. Do you think tricking will ever be in the Olympics?
Yes. It's gonna requires so much skill.
And
Like,
potential. It has so much potential.
Yeah, and just so much like if gymnastics is in the Olympics, then I think tricking can be. And to your question about 10, 20 years in the future, dude,
yeah, you want to
tricking
yeah.
is going to be like a really established sport, and you can easily. It's like really hard for the best trickers in the world to make money just doing tricking now. But just like if someone who's good at NFL or someone who's really good at basketball can be in the NBA and make like millions of dollars, I think that's how tricking is going to be.
All right.
Make like a lot of.
I
money.
swear this is the last question.
Yeah.
Do you think tricking is going to be like, you know how you see like kids now, they're like playing football and
Oh,
stuff.
I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, they're like,
You think that'd just be like flipping their free time?
yeah. Do you
Like
think
that would be-
tricking will be like that? Like instead, like kids are like, hey, let's go play football. Or you think kids would be like, oh, let's go trick?
Well, I think I'd hope to
Even
be,
now.
but probably really like I don't know, dedicated kids because it still requires
It's still
like a level of. It doesn't really require anything to go outside and throw a ball. Be good at throwing a ball, I guess. But you need to trick.
you need
You need
dedication.
to be able to do certain flips or kicks, but like even the most basic level kicks, I feel like they would rather throw around the ball instead of just kick the air a lot.
I swear this is the last.
Because the more advanced you get in your tricks, the more fun tricking gets. That's just like the fact about it, man.
like what changes has tricking brought to your life?
Okay, so tricking, I used to not really. I probably would be a bum right now if I didn't do tricking because I kind of quit swimming, and that was the only thing I was like really good at. And also
Running at-
kicking a football. I'm pretty good at kicking a football, or I'd like to think I am. Nothing compared to what people can do, but yeah, I don't really know where I'd be. I quit swimming, so I just kind of come home and watch TV and maybe jump on the trampoline a little bit, not really knowing any flips. But that's the thing, though. I don't really know how to put it. If I didn't have tricking, I would be nowhere. I sesh like almost